Tomi Lahren did a final thought segment on Michelle Goldberg's stand-up at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. And this is absolutely hilarious for a number of reasons. Let's watch and then we'll discuss.
Feminists, please explain, why is it sexist to attack liberal females but funny to attack conservative women? Oh, it's time for final thoughts. Saturday's White House Correspondents' Dinner proved once again that hate, sexism, and bullying isn't tolerated unless it's aimed at conservatives or the Trump administration. Then it's comedy.
I actually really like Sarah. I think she's very resourceful. Like, she burns facts, and then she uses that ash to create a perfect smoky eye. Like, maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's lies. It's probably lies. And I'm never really sure what to call Sarah Huckabee Sanders. You know, is it Sarah Sanders? Is it Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Is it cousin Huckabee? Is it Auntie Huckabee Sanders? Like, what's Uncle Tom but for white women who disappoint other white women? Oh, I know, Aunt Coulter.
Wow. The leftists, comedians, and journalists operate on one standard, the double standard. Can you imagine the uproar if Sarah Huckabee Sanders was a Democrat? And Michelle, I'll admit, you are clever and witty, but you crossed the line. Not only did Sarah Sanders look beautiful, she was the epitome of class and elegance. She embodies everything the feminists claim to advocate for. She's a tough, accomplished, and intelligent woman, a true symbol of female empowerment. And Michelle, she has more wit and class in her pinky than you do in your entire body, so take notes. This dinner claims to be a celebration of top-notch journalists and the free and independent media. It wasn't. It was rude, vulgar, and disturbing.
He thinks abortion is murder, which, first of all, don't knock it till you try it. And when you do try it, really knock it. You know, you gotta get that baby out of there.
Listen, we all expected knocks at the Trump administration, but that is just too far. The left has resorted to this kind of humor. Is that all they have? And I don't blame Wolf. She was being herself, a left-wing, former Daily Show contributor with a Netflix show to promote. She did her job, and honestly, I think Sarah Sanders is strong enough to take it. It's the White House Correspondents Association that should have known better. Were they really surprised at the vulgarity and tastelessness? I doubt it. They allowed her the platform to become a new hero of the resistance. Is that what this dinner is for? As for the association president's statement Sunday, which called Wolf's monologue not in the spirit of the group's mission, why bother to apologize for something you knew was going to happen? All this did was reinforce the notion that hoity-toity coastal journalists are completely out of touch with Americans, reality, and good taste.
I almost couldn't believe that she said what she said here, given how she's promoted herself from the beginning of her career, going back to The Blaze, throughout the time at The Blaze, now at Fox News. Her whole shtick from day one has been, I'm the anti-snowflake person. I'm the person who's against the free speech police. I'm against the safe spaces. I'm against the microaggressions. I think you should get over it. I think people who are offended by jokes are the worst people in society, and they need to understand that the world doesn't operate, you know, with fucking pillows on the walls to protect your feelings everywhere you go. You can't be the anti-snowflake person and then do a whole fucking rant about how you're offended by jokes. How do you not have that ability to do self-perception? How are you that, like, dense and unaware of your own hypocrisy? And she even said in the rant, quote, leftists operate on the double standard. Because you just made up that if there was a conservative comedian going after some liberal woman, that they would be outraged by it. Except here's the problem. There wasn't a conservative comedian, and they didn't go after a liberal woman. So you made that up. Now, you could say that that scenario is likely or unlikely, And there is some reason to believe that there would be people who would claim it's sexist. But the point remains, that didn't happen. What did happen is somebody who I guess is somewhat left-leaning not only roasted Sarah Huckabee Sanders, a conservative woman, but also roasted CNN, roasted MSNBC, roasted the Democrats, and said they stand for nothing, and they're somehow going to lose to somebody named Nazi McPedophile or some shit. She went after everybody because that's her fucking job. But you try to find, in a painstaking fashion where you bend over backwards and literally make shit up, you try to find some sort of hypocrisy on the other side, when in reality, you're the biggest hypocrite of them all. You can't call out double standards as you're doing a whole speech on joke outrage when your whole public persona is built around, I'm the anti-joke outrage person. God damn it, Tommy. How can you be that stupid? It really is fucking amazing. At least a guy like Ben Shapiro. Like, Ben Shapiro used to be a brazen hypocrite on this shit, on free speech issues. He went on Laura Ingram's show to defend her against, left-wing boycotts because Laura Ingraham had gone after one of the Parkland students over his bad grades or something, and so they fired back and tried to boycott her show, and some advertisers fled. And so Ben Shapiro went on the show to say, we're defending the First Amendment and boycott shouldn't happen because you disagree with the speech. Well, come to find out, just a few years earlier, Ben Shapiro not only was partaking in a boycott against MSNBC hosts that he didn't like, he led it. He led the charge of a boycott to try to get advertisers to flee from MSNBC hosts he didn't like. So that is total hypocrisy. But at least with Ben, at some point he was like, shit, I can't be a total hypocrite anymore because it's too obvious I'm a hack if I keep doing this. So what Ben did is he changed his opinions and he said, okay, I will actually defend a left-wing professor or something, or a left-wing host who says something that's, that's not politically correct. And even if I disagree with the person, I'll defend them because then that gives me the ability to turn around and defend the conservatives when you have the outrage brigade come after them. So to Ben's credit, at least he came around at a certain point and was like, okay, I have to be consistent here. Tomi Lahren, this is like the most obvious, blatant, overt, in-your-face, hilarious hypocrisy I've ever seen in my life. She said that because of jokes at a dinner where the whole fucking point is to roast the people at the dinner. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. She said about jokes, it's, quote, bullying. It went, quote, too far. It, quote, crossed the line. It's, quote, tasteless. It's, quote, rude, vulgar, and disturbing. So in other words, all the shit that she would go after the PC police on college campuses for trying to deplatform people who, might say things that are not politically correct and oftentimes genuinely hateful. The same language that's used by those people is the language that she's now adopting because it serves her own political ends. Listen, she's just a partisan hack. That's what it boils down to. That's all it is. She's just a partisan hack. It's one thing to have genuine disagreements and to be principled. That's totally fine. It's a total other thing to just be a rank tribalist and a partisan hack like she's being right here. I gave her credit on the fucking Syria thing because she said, I don't think Trump should bomb Syria. Good for you, Tommy, and I'll continue to give you credit on that part. But on issues of free speech, on issues of the joke police, here's what I need from you. Never, ever, ever again call anybody a snowflake. Never, ever rip safe spaces or microaggressions again, because this is what you're doing here. You need a safe space, you're against the microaggressions, and you're the fucking snowflake. Okay? You don't like jokes? Get the fuck over it. Change the channel, and move on with your life. Because there's more important things than kowtowing and catering to Tomi fucking Lahren's feelings.